Yo, welcome back to another devlog. Didn't do a lot of work last week, I'm gonna be honest, but I did work on a few adjustments, bug fixes, little things here and there that needed fixing. So I'm not too displeased with what I did. I also advanced now. Developed a bit more the inventory system. I thought a lot. It's also something that I did, and it's needed sometimes. You can't always be rushing headfirst into some code. You have to think sometimes. So that's what I did. So what did I think about? Well, I was kind of overwhelmed by the scope of this project, if I'm not gonna lie, in that I have a lot of things to do and I'm not like prepared to do most of them. For instance, just I was like, okay, I'm going to start making NPCs, friendly NPCs that you can trade with. But then I was like, okay, what are they gonna trade? You know, I have only a single item for now in the game. It's a torch. So I like, okay, maybe put more items in the game. And that's fine and dandy, right? But what items? You know, that's also something I wondered. Because I could just go ahead and add some miscellaneous weapons and armors, but I mean, I could do that, and I probably will at some point, but I think I need to first of all kind of consolidate the player's initial loadout depending on his class, right? So maybe that's something that I will do later on. Because right now every single character starts with 3 torches, which is nice. But it's not enough. They need a set of armor, a weapon or 2, depending on the class, and maybe some other utility items like food, potions, stuff like that. Which brought me to another problem that I thought about, which is the stats of the characters. Because right now I have a set of 5 stats, primary stats, which translates more or less to strength, charisma, intelligence, constitution, I think, as well as a 5th one, which is agility. And that's all fine and dandy, right? But right now I have no use for most of them. I know constitution is used to calculate the character's HP as well as their sanity points, which I do plan on incorporating a way to become insane, very much like Darkest Dungeon. Well, not like Darkest Dungeon, but the way that Darkest Dungeon has a sanity system where you can become insane and stressed and stuff like that. It affects your characters and stuff. I do plan on implementing something like that in a different way, where it's more like some characters might use it as a resource, while other might just see it as like an alternative HP bar, stuff like that, you know, depending on your class. But I have all these. I have HP, I have 70 points, and I have faith points, which are used to cast spells. And I have no way to cast a spell right now. Like, I don't even know where to begin. Do I make it so that characters have innate spells, and that the more you level up with a certain character, you gain new spells, and you can choose from a list of spells that you can choose, like very much in a D&D fashion? Or do I make it so that you start each spell slinger, spellcaster, starts with a default set of spells that can or cannot be, like a set of maybe 2 or 3 spells that are chosen randomly from a list, or depending on some attributes your character has. And then you learn spells, by finding merchants and buying scrolls, or just finding scrolls and books and tomes and shit like that in the dungeon. So I haven't really decided yet, and I haven't even planted the fact that you can cast spells at all. So that's a lot of things to do and to think about, not even speaking about the fact that I have to implement a pathfinding system. Thankfully, Go has a A-star algorithm implementation, but I don't think I'm going to be able to use it, seeing as I don't really understand how it works when you use multiple tile map layers, even though like in 4.6, when this A-star implementation was added to the Godot, is pretty much the time where they removed the ability for you to use a single tile map layer, right? And they switch from the tile map scene to the tile map layer scene that you have to stack. And so far, I haven't read too much about it, so maybe I'm wrong, but it does seem like it's a bit of a headache. So, I have a lot of things to do, So I was kind of overwhelmed by that. And gonna lie. So last time I tried to showcase the inventory system, equipping torches and such, and it didn't work really at all. There was... Sorry. I'm yawning. There was like a few issues. A lot of issues, actually. A lot of these issues have been corrected, just game logic stuff that needed doing, I was just, because I do a lot of things in different scenes and stuff, I forgot to set a few variables here and there, but that's corrected. And also that gave me the opportunity to mainline even a bit more of the streamline, a bit more of the object and equipment and effect system, which is really nice. It showcased some fundamental issue with how I had implemented it, and now it is fixed, I believe. So that's nice. And yeah, so I fixed that, and then I started working on a character menu, the way that a lot of video games has like an inventory, a character sheet, stuff like that. So I have an inventory, I have a journal, that's it. So I needed a character sheet because right now when you open an inventory, you know what items are equipped, but it can be a bit messy remembering which items are equipped where, especially since I did make a special sprite for the left hand and right hand indicator, but for the armor I just put an armor logo, because that would have been a lot of like work to do. Oh my god, I'm sorry, I'm yawning. I haven't slept a lot. So yeah, I was working on that, and that's pretty much all I did, I think, unless I'm mistaken. But I'm quite happy with what I did because it works and it looks nice. It doesn't work fully quite yet. I need to because right now it only works. Okay, so what I did in character sheet is that I created like an armor system when you can look at specifically what you're wearing and where it's equipped, plus your stats and stuff like that, which are not fully written out because it's boring, to be honest. Just writing variables into labels and stuff like that, it's boring and it's easy to do, so that's something for later probably. So yeah, I spent a lot of time drawing the character model for this model, quote unquote sprite, maybe is a better word, and I kind of got out of it got out of hand, like, for sure. I was just planning on doing like a simple like character outline where you could easily see every limb and stuff to know like, okay, this is the leg equipment, this is torso equipment, this is head equipment and stuff like that. But I was listening to music and feeling myself and enjoying the time I was drawing, so I kind of went overboard, and I'll show you that right now. I'm going to launch the game and show you like everything right now. So yeah, oh, the game is not showing properly. No, never mind, it is here. So also I fixed a lot of the, well, fixed. I switched most of the fonts, I think all of the fonts actually, back to a simple mono font. I like the look of mono fonts because I don't know, they look nice to me. Also, it's easier to keep track of length and stuff like that with a mono font. So that's nice when you have menus and stuff like that need to be a certain size. Because the Gothic fonts I used were unreadable. Let's be quite honest. Unreadable for me, let alone for someone who's like heavily dyslexic. So I went back on that and chose a mono font for the reasons I said. Maybe I will switch back to something else that's something a bit more prettier or on theme later, but I like a mono font, and yeah, as I like a mono font. I also drew a character portrait that I haven't implemented into the game. I'm going to show it to you, because these old character portraits that I have on the game right now, like all of these, this guy is here to stay, but this is not here to stay. This maybe, this ain't, this probably isn't either, maybe that, but I'm not too sure right now. Like, these are not quite on theme, except this one is really on theme, but the other ones aren't. So I'm not, like, they're not probably here to stay. Maybe it's like unlocks for later, but right now they're probably going to go. But this character portrait I did does fit the theme. It's quite literally just a drawing of a portrait for the sprite I made for the fighter, the soldier, which is this guy here. So as you can see, maybe you can't actually, there you go. I'm gonna zoom in on the game so you can see the sprite. So as you can see, it's a dude in armor. You can see it, he has blue eyes. So there's this portrait. You have his like little flourish, green flourish on his helmet and stuff like that. So it's quite similar. It's not exactly the same. I was like, I'm not going to replicate the exact armor I did, because the entire reason the armor looks like that in the sprites is because I didn't have enough space. But in a 64x64 portrait, I have a bit more space to elaborate what I wanted it to look like. So I think it looks nice. I need to implement it in the game though for later, but for now, that's, oh my goodness, I am the glob galab, you know what I mean. So yeah, is that the guy? No, this is the guy. So I'm going to remove him for now from the screen, but I will add him later. So that's all. That was a lot of work as well. So okay. I fixed a few things also in the log system. I said I wanted it to zoom for real, you know, just not upscaling the things. And so now it zooms actually, and you can read more at a time, which is nice. I had to mess a bit with some animating some theme elements, which is not always easy, but that went better than I expected. So let's go in the inventory and equip this torch on your, also this little menu here. Maybe you might have noticed that this last item drop was duplicated last time. It's not anymore. Also some things I forgot to do that were easy to fix. So you can equip it in your right hand and your torch is displayed. You can disequip it, unequip it, and it stops shining. So it's really nice. It works nice this time. You can also drop items. They don't show on the grind right now, but they will later. And yeah, I think that's quite nice the way it works. So now you're wondering, maybe I want to see character sheet. There it is. So it looks fucking disgusting, and to be honest, that wasn't really the objective at first, but I do like it. And you have in the right hand for him a torch. I plan on making a pop-up that shows you the effects of not the effects, because I don't plan on showing that, but the description of the torch, which is usually lore, about lore, or it's about it's the joke for the torch. It's a joke. So you have different. I don't think I went over the the equipment slots in this game. So I'm planning on having a lot of different items that you can equip. So you have something on your head, which may be like a crown, a circlet, hat, something like that. Something on your face, maybe glasses, maybe a mask, something like that. Something on your throat, like a necklace, or like if you have some armors go up to your neck, stuff like that. You have obviously something on your chest, something on your waist, like a belt, leather belt, for instance, something in your right hand, something in your left hand, obviously, something on your feet, and something on your fingers. Like you can have two rings, one on your right hand and one on your left hand. So yeah, I mean, I started displaying this. This is obviously not complete for now. Oh my goodness, I'm yawning. But yeah, that's pretty much all I did. Yeah, not a lot of work, but you know, every week can be some major introduction. I don't really know what I'm planning on working next week. I definitely do need to make a loading screen for the dungeoneering, because right now it's not obvious that it's loading. It seems like the game is freezing. So I need to do that, which shouldn't be too hard. I just need to design it. And yeah, I don't know. I mean, just a lot of things to do, and I'll do them as I, think I need them. So yeah, this is gonna be it for today. Today we're gonna do a shooter that might give you the yogurt effect. You know what I mean? No, so that's gonna be it for today, and I am going to go back to work. I am going to go back to work on this. I want also to create different algorithms for dungeon generation. I want to make one that looks like a cave, more than a dungeon. So that's going to be a lot of noise related things, I believe. I maybe I'm not going to do it this way, but it might, work if I do it with noise. If I find the right way to generate the right kind of noise I want. So I might do that. I want a different, besides a cave, I don't really know yet. I mean, I might obviously do variations on this dungeon, because this one is a small dungeon. I have set up different stats for medium and big dungeons, but also the fact that these are arbitrary divisions that I can just make all variables just change, be it the randomness of the shape of the corridors, the hallways, the size of the rooms, the number of rooms, the closeness of the rooms, the fact that rooms can I hate my mic. The fact that the rooms can have a non-rectangular shape right now, they can have they can fuse together if two rooms spawn in the same place. So I'm gonna make it so that, well, I've made it so that I can say that no, they don't fuse, they just stack and create some other type of shapes and stuff like that. So all of this is gonna be done. All of this is done actually. I just need to implement it so that when you start a dungeon, the type of dungeon that you go into, the stats for this dungeon are just not either small, big, or medium. Because also, like, the only thing I vary for these is the number of rooms. So, and I've made it so that I can just change so many things, and I'm not putting it to any use right now. So that's one of the things I'm going to do later on, but I need to kind of rework the way you get into the dungeon. Because right now it's just calling a random function telling to generate a big dungeon. Which, I mean, I'm gonna have to make that so that it function takes a lot more parameters, and I can make it so that I can say, okay, this. Because just telling the dungeon give me a big dungeon was nice for beta testing and stuff like that, making sure everything is working correctly, you know. But now that I know it works, I can go fucking crazy. So yeah, this is pretty much it for today. I'm gonna leave you here. I'm going to post maybe next week. No, I know I'm going to post this for next week. I'm not. That's not what I was thinking about. Yeah, I'm probably not gonna post a eugenics app today. Because you have this, and to be honest, I'm a bit tired, so I might skip on eugenics for today. Also, we did a pretty good run last time, so that I was quite happy with. Also, I want to work on the new songs for this game and for the eugenics let's play as well, so that is to come. I also need to record some Minecraft because I'm gonna run out of Minecraft videos pretty soon, pre-recorded ones. So yeah, that's all I have to say. See you next time tomorrow from Eugenics.